In this Revit tutorial, I'm going to go over how you can change the type properties of a door. In this particular view of my building, I happen to have a double glass door. It's 72 by 84. But maybe I'd like to make this door a little bit taller or wider or something like that, but I'm happy with the overall style. Once I have it selected, what I want to do is come over to the Properties palette, and underneath the Type selector, I want to choose Edit Type. Once I've chosen Edit Type, I'll get the Type Properties menu. It's showing me that the family is a double glass door and the type is 72 by 84. If I want to make a change to it, what I really should do is go in and duplicate it. This is important because you don't want to, change the size to something, maybe it's taller or wider or something like that, and that's not reflected in the name. That would be very confusing. But also, if, let's say, for example, this is the only door that I wanted to change, but I had many of them in my file, what would happen is it would change everywhere. So you really have to be conscious of what you're doing. So I'm just going to duplicate it, and maybe instead of 72 by 84, I'll change it to, let's see, 72 by maybe 108. Say OK. And then what I can do is come down below and make whatever changes I want. So I guess I made the width 108. So I could either type in feet or I could type in 108 inches and it will figure it out for me. And then I can also change the thickness of the trim, the thickness of the door, the rail width and the base and the top. So maybe I feel like people are going to kick the base of the door occasionally. So maybe I want to make that a little taller. So instead of 4 inches, I want to make that maybe 8. Something like that. And then I'll say OK, basically. And now I have a really quite short and wide door. So if I take a look at that, I've made that base sort of a kick plate, if you will, a little bit taller, and the door quite a bit wider. If I click on that again and go into Edit Type, you'll see that I can hit the preview button, so I can get a preview of what that's going to look like in a kind of generic wall. Or I can just look at it out here when I hit apply. Either is fine. Maybe I'd like to duplicate that again. So I'll say duplicate, and maybe I want to make this one 9 feet by 9 feet. So I'll call it 108 by 108. And then for the height, I'll make that 9 feet as well. I'll say OK. And now I have a taller and wider door than I originally started out with. So you can, generally speaking, you can load a lot of families in and make adjustments to them to suit your needs without having to necessarily go into the family editor and make one from scratch, although that will come up too. But when you're just starting with the software, working with existing components can be a good way to go. So that's the basics of editing the properties of a basic door using Edit Type and duplicating one to make it your own.